man. I think it's going to be a good week of football, man. I'm excited to just sit back and watch these games today, man. So, yeah, I'm excited as can be, man. So, it's going to be a good one. I can feel it, man. Going to go over my starting lineups for the week, of course. But outside of that, man, we're just going to sit back and we are going to anticipate some Sunday week 3 NFL action, man. So, trying to get this franchise mode going. The Catch fam guys, we won the Super Bowl, man, with the Broncos, right? Decimated the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and we decimated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl last night on the late night live stream. Last night's late night live stream was a blast, man. We had a ton of new faces, man. It was great, man. Last night was awesome. Appreciate all the members of the Catch fam, but I also appreciate all the new members of the Catch fam that decided to join last night as well. Your guys' support is incredible, man. It truly, truly is. So appreciate you guys 100%, man. And I hope to see some new faces here in the pregame live stream. I know it's not typically as active per se as our late night live streams, but it's all good, man. I just want to make sure I give you guys the opportunity to get some last second fantasy Q&A in before you do set your lineups for today. So a couple injury updates. Rio Goated, what is up, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you as always, brother. Happy to have you in the chat, man. Happy to have you in the live stream, man. Loyal member of the Catch fam, tried and true. Good to see you, brother. Let's see, injury updates, right? Ian Rappaport is reporting Lamar Jackson is expected to play today versus the Lions. So that's good. Let's see here. Ronnie Stanley will not be lining up for that game. Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Deandre Hopkins will attempt to play through injury versus the Jaguars, a source tells Rappaport. Yeah, that's good news too. Darrell Henderson, D-Tendies, is a game-time decision versus the Buccaneers. So if he does not play, Sony Michel will be the lead back, and they're reporting that Jake Funk will be mixed in too. Joey Bosa of the LA Chargers is a game-time decision, so that's quite interesting as well. Could affect some things in that Chiefs-Chargers game. Evan Ingram is expected to make his 2021 debut today, so that, of course, is good news. And Kenny Golladay, who was listed as questionable, is expected to play against the Falcons. And Dalvin Cook, despite not playing all week at the moment, is expected to suit up versus Seattle. It's no sure thing Cook will play, and if he does, it will likely be on an extremely limited basis. So that's interesting too, guys. I told a lot of people to start Dalvin Cook last night, and we'll see, man. We'll see how that plays out. But I mean, I feel like he's going to be okay. I mean, I don't know. It's just such a bad rushing defense. It's hard not to start him, right? Let's see. Chris Jones is questionable with a wrist injury for the Kansas City Chiefs, as well as Frank Clark is doubtful with a hamstring injury. So that's pretty big implications for the Chiefs as well, man. So there you go. There are your injury updates at the moment. We'll see if we don't get any more throughout the live stream. Rio Goated, do you think that Tony Pollard is going to affect Zeke, or you think Zeke is still going to get his 15 to 20 plus fantasy points? I mean, Tony Pollard's always affected Zeke to some degree, right? But at this point in time, I think it's going to be okay for Zeke. I truly, truly do. I would keep him in your lineups. I like his matchup against the Eagles on Monday Night Football, man. So I wouldn't sweat it too much. I think Tony Pollard always has the opportunity to take some touches away, right? But overall, man, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I truly wouldn't. We need to kind of see a larger sample size before we really jump the gun there. But yeah, at the moment, to answer your question, I think Zeke's going to be perfectly okay at this point in time. So I wouldn't sweat starting him or having him in your starting lineup. So yeah, man, no sweat there if you're asking me. All right, so we need to turn injuries back on as I turned them off for the off season to make sure no one got injured here in our Madden franchise. Tom Brady's first career game in LA today. That's pretty interesting. Man, I really like the Bucks' chance of winning that game, but I don't know, man. I really like the Rams' chances of winning that game as well. So it's hard to say, man. But yeah, we will probably do our final game picks. I know I flew through some game picks as requested last night, but we might go over them one more time because it doesn't hurt whatsoever. All right, Madden is ready to go. Our team is really bad compared to last year's team, but that's the fun of franchise mode. So let's get into it, guys. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's hop into the starting lineups of the week. All right, so I am going to start Lamar Jackson, but I am very, very tempted to start Daniel Jones. I'm going to put Daniel Jones in my starting lineup, guys. I'm probably going to change it, but for now, at least to confuse my opponent, and if I play him, I'm not going to feel bad about it. So Daniel Jones, David Montgomery, Zach Pascal, KJ Osborne. We've got Mike G in the lineup at tight end. I'm giving him one more shot. Right now, I've got Javonte Williams at the running back position in my lineup. And I think it's a good start, but I also like Quentin Cephas. Problem is this is a half PPR league, so I don't like Cephas as much. But Cephas is the only guy on my bench who I'm really considering starting. I like Tim Patrick. I don't mind Henry Ruggs or Corey Davis. I don't want to start James Robinson. So yeah, I mean, my lineup is at a very interesting place right now. I got Matt Gay as my kicker, so I'm good there. Rams defense, man. Could be a risky start, but there's really no one else that I see on the waiver wire who I think is going to give us a better opportunity to get, 10 points, 8 points, 9 points. There's really no one out there who's available who's going to really make a huge difference there. So we'll roll with the LA Rams defense versus good old Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, it's scary, don't get me wrong. So my trade did go through my 20-man league, so now I have Trevor Lawrence, no longer Darrell Henderson, which is it's definitely not exciting, I'll say that much. But little thin at running back now, but we had to have a quarterback, guys. I mean, I had to pick up Jacob Eason and drop Cephas, which was retrospectively a god-awful move. But what are you going to do? You got to prepare for the worst, and that's what I was doing. Now I get a free waiver wire addition, essentially, by dropping Jacob Eason, which I will definitely be doing. I mean, I'm really pissed I lost my guy Cephas over all this, but it is what it is, man. We are still pretty deep at receiver anyways, so we should survive as a whole. All right, man, here's the first snap of our new Madden franchise. 2-yard gain. Cool. We'll go with that. So, yeah, I actually like this start of Trevor Lawrence versus the Arizona Cardinals defense. Man, Davante Adams looks dirty in this Broncos uniform. We're going to have to get him involved pretty early. We got Sutton and Judy. Whew. And Fant. Our receivers are loaded, guys. All right, let's try and get Davante Adams involved in this Madden game. I signed Le'Veon Bell for some reason. So we do have Le'Veon Bell as well. All right, let's see here. So, yeah, Trevor Lawrence versus Arizona, man. I think it's a pretty good matchup. It's not the best, but, he had 33 passing attempts last week in that first game, right? He had an insane amount of passing attempts, but I mean, I know last week was not the best game overall, man. Um, but in a 20-man league, I'm pretty happy with this turnout, right? It could definitely be a lot worse overall. Rondell Moore is my wide receiver one at the moment in my 20-man league, and I am completely okay with that. I think he has an opportunity to put up another 20 points or so here against the Jacksonville Jaguars, so I'm happy with that start all day long. And I got Tim Patrick in there against the Jets, right? I think this is a pretty good matchup. If I'm not mistaken, this is Denver's season opener, right? So I expect them to make a statement today. Technically speaking, the New York Jets are like third ranked against, or the third ranked best team against opposing wide receivers defensively, and I'm not really scared of that. When you look at the game script through the first two games, they haven't really been forced to do a lot against good receivers. I mean, and Carolina, yeah, sure, in week one. But actually, when you look back on that game, they didn't play that great against them. And then in week two, very slow moving game against New England, right? Where Zach Wilson was just turning the ball over every other play. So I'm not too concerned about starting Tim Patrick this week as a whole. Wow, did I just throw a pick? Holy crap. Did you guys see that interception? What? Madden is just unbelievable at times. Nathaniel, what is going on, man? Good to see you in the chat, man. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are having a fantastic weekend and you are ready for some week 3 NFL action, man. It's going to be a good week, man. It truly is. I can feel it. Going to be better than these last 2 weeks, which are not the best weeks overall, man. These first 2 weeks of 2021 football season are they're kind of wild, man. Definitely not what we expected by any means, man. But you never know, man. Could be another week where we just make all the wrong calls. We'll see. But we've made good calls throughout the season as well. But Ryan H, what is going on, man? Happy to see you in the chat, man. Happy to have you here in the live stream. Hope you're having a great weekend, man. Hope that you are ready for some NFL action here in week 3. Hey there, wanted to say thanks again. Do you think Galladay will be a decoy today? Yeah, man, absolutely. Don't need to say thanks by any means, but we do appreciate that. But happy to help you, man. That's what the channel is here for, so we appreciate that. Those kind words and the support, man, of course. But we got your back all day, brother, so no worries there. Yeah, I mean, Galladay, we just went over the injury updates, right? And yeah, I mean, dealing with the hip injury. And I don't think it's crazy to assume he's going to be a quote-unquote decoy, right? I mean, we know that Daniel Jones wants to target, Sterling Shepard all day long. Evan Ingram's coming back. Saquon might be a little bit more involved today. I don't think it's unfair to say that Galladay could be more of a potential decoy, quote-unquote, today. And it's going to be an interesting game because kind of the flip side of that is, well, the Atlanta Falcons are playing so bad defensively that, Galladay could get some today too. So it's a tough call. But if you're asking me, man, I like some of the other receivers and other skill position players on that team right now a lot more. But I could also definitely see some of these guys who haven't been playing as well have a better day today just because, Atlanta just looks so freaking bad right now, right? Chargers game plan to slow down Chiefs' explosive offense. That's probably a good game plan. That's probably everyone's game plan. But does it work? I don't know. And I'm just watching NFL Game Day morning on my second screen here. So, well, actually third screen. But nonetheless, man, it doesn't really matter. So if I see any updates that are important, we'll call them out, man. Let's see. Nathaniel, last week I started AB over Mike Williams and lost by 10. Yeah, man, what the hell was up with AB last week? He really hurt a lot of us. Man, our rookie tackle in Madden has just got injured for a second time. Yeah, he hurt me too, man. I mean, I don't think I was going to win my matchup. I didn't lose by that slim of a margin, but overall, man, man, we got Odell Beckham on the screen. He's coming back today. Wow, Kendricks just broke his ribs, so much for drafting him, man. But listen, yeah, AB, man, really screwed us, and it's tough when you have. It's very tough when you have a player on the bench who you could have potentially started, who could have won you the game, right? I mean, that's basically the story in my 20-man league over the past 2 weeks, right? I mean, I benched KJ Osborne and Rondell Moore last week and only lost by a point, even with Aaron Jones getting us almost a victory on his own, right? So I feel your pain, man. It always stinks. It's almost better when you lose and your bench is awful because then you're like, okay, I lost. There's nothing I could have done about it outside of the waiver wire potentially. But yeah, when you've got the players on your bench that could have won for you, it's always frustrating, man. So I feel your pain there, my guy. This week I have Alexander Madison, Amari Cooper, and Chase Edmonds. I need one flex and one running back full PPR. Man, this Dalvin Cook situation, I mean, I know I told most people to start him last night because even if he's in a limited capacity, it's just such a bad defense, right? But the updates today aren't looking too great, saying that if he does suit up, it's going to be on a very limited basis. Now, a limited Dalvin Cook against the worst team through week 3 here against opposing running backs defensively, it's still a very good matchup, right? But is it risky? Sure. Now, does that help Alexander Madison? Of course it does. But it's just hard to say at this point in time, right? What's going to happen today with that situation. So I think Madison is worth a start if that's where you have to go, right? I mean, I really like, to answer your question, man, I like Chase Edmonds. I think he is a good running back to start today. I think the Madison situation is a little risky, right? It's high risk, high reward, man, and it could certainly pay off. Don't get me wrong, man. Those are just the type of situations I tend to avoid, right? Which I'm more of a safe fantasy player. I look for safer floors overall. But if you prefer high risk, high reward, then that's okay, man. Just be aware that Madison might not get you the amount of points that you're looking for, but with the high risk comes a high reward. He could potentially get you all the points you're looking for. So it's really tough to call, man. As you're saying, I think Dalvin Cook is out. I think he's still questionable. It's hard to say. What I'm looking at is that, let me pull it back up here. He's listed as questionable with an ankle injury. Hopes to suit up versus Seattle despite not practicing all week. No sure thing Cook will play, but even if he does, it'll be an extremely limited basis. So, yeah, I don't have an exact answer. Let me double check some other sources to see if there's anything. Yeah, what I'm seeing is he's still listed as questionable. Yeah, they're saying he appears on this source unlikely to play. Man. Yeah, Madison might be a really good start this week. Let's keep monitoring the situation. Because we got some time, man. If Cook doesn't play, then Madison's a fantastic start, man. He truly, truly is. And I mean, Seattle has just been so bad against the run. Let's see here. Let's continue to monitor it, right? If Cook is out for sure, then I would start Edmonds and Madison, right? I mean, I like Amari Cooper, but I think he's got a relatively tough matchup this week, right? So I think overall, man, you have 3 good players to start. I mean, quite honestly, I would roll with Madison and Edmonds at this point in time. If you need a flex and you need a solid RB1, man, yeah, I think you got a really good steal there. I mean, this is what you're hoping for if you own Alexander Mattison, right? And I think Chase Edmonds versus the Jags is a great start, man. I think he's going to have a good stat line. I'm looking for at least 12 points out of him, man. And I still like Cooper, like I said, man. But I would only play him if you don't feel confident in Madison suiting up today, because Mari Cooper, kind of similar to Mike Evans, right? You see the high ceiling and you see the low floor on a week in and week out basis. So, yeah, he could go off for 38 points like he did in week one, or he could have a week like he did last week where he only puts up 4 or 5 points, right? So I like Madison and Edmonds to answer your question, and I see you're saying Amari has the upside. I don't disagree, and he usually plays pretty well against NFC East teams. And don't get me wrong, Philly has been awful against opposing receivers, one of the worst teams in the entire league at this point in time. So it's a tough call, man. I like all your options. I'm not trying to not give you an answer, man, but I truly like all of your options. So it's a really tough call, man. I don't think you're going to make the wrong decision no matter who you start. All right, let's see here. Legendary Sports Cards, what is going on, man? Good to see you in the chat. Happy to have you here in the live stream. Hope you've had a great week. Hope you are having a great weekend and you are ready for some NFL action coming up in just a few hours, man. Less than 2 hours. I know you're stoked. I'm super stoked. I don't know what the hell just happened in Madden, man. That was the strangest fumble I've ever seen. So, whatever. Who do I start? Woods, Cooper, or Shepard at flex? Man, I really like Sterling Shepard this week. I think Cooper's the next best start. Who do I start? Rob Woods, Amari Cooper, or Sterling Shepard? I think Shepard against the Falcons is the safest bet there, man. I truly, truly do. I like Amari Cooper a lot. I would put him second against a bad Philly defense in terms of the secondary, right? And then I would put Woods last, but Woods always, is going to be a consistent 10-point player who can always go off if he does score, right? But overall, man, if it was me, I would be starting Sterling Shepard with extreme confidence against the Atlanta Falcons. I think that's a fantastic start here in week 3, man. So that's my answer. I would roll with Shepard all day freaking long, and I would do it with pretty extreme confidence as well. I think it's a good start, man. But don't get me wrong, Cooper's probably going to have a really good game as well. And Robert Woods is still always a safe bet to go off. But yeah, if it was me, man, the way Atlanta's playing defensively and the way that the Giants look right now, which is crazy to say. I mean, no, they're not winning football games, but from a fantasy perspective and offensively, they look actually pretty fucking good. So it's like, could they, have a Jameis Winston week, right, and play awful? It's possible, but I would still start Sterling Shepard as a safe bet. So let me know if you have any other questions, man. Happy to answer any of them for you. All right, thanks. Yeah, you got it, brother. You got it. The catch's got your back, homie. So if you got anything else, man, give us a shout. We're happy to help. And let's see if we can't complete a pass in Madden. We apparently can. Luke Meyer, what is going on, man? Happy to see you in the chat, man. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope your weekend has been great and you're ready to just kick back and watch some NFL action here in week 3. It's going to be a good week, man. I can feel it. I can feel it in my veins. It's going to be a beautiful week here. Going to be some fantasy dubs for the catch fam, man. I can feel it, guys. So, Mike Davis or Damian Harris. I would roll with Damian Harris, honestly. I think he is playing much, much better overall. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Mike Davis always has an opportunity to get in the end zone, but the way that the Atlanta Falcons are implementing Cordell Patterson, it's a little worrisome, right? And let's see if we can't pull up a couple stats for you. Let's see. So Mike Davis facing the New York Giants, right? He's really getting all of his value right now out of PPR value, right? Which is okay. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's plenty of running backs that, perform that way. Wow, Nick Chubb is just decimating us. And the Giants are bad against opposing running backs. Looking at about the 26th worst team overall so far through the season, right? I mean, still a small sample size, right? But Damian Harris looks like a true lead back. He ain't splitting any time with anyone like, Mike Davis is, right? And don't get me wrong, the matchup against the Saints is overall more challenging, but they're a little banged up right now, which isn't everything, man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're still going to perform relatively well. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, he's looked very good through these first two games, man. It's a tougher matchup, don't get me wrong, but I like where he's at within his respective offense a lot more than where Mike Davis is at. So, yeah, if you're asking me, man, I would personally start Damian Harris, but just know that it is a little bit of a tougher matchup, so he is going to have to earn those points. But the way Patterson's being used for the Falcons, I would feel more confident with starting Damian Harris. He looks like a true RB1 here in week 3. So thanks for the question, man. If you have any others, please feel free to give us a shout, man. We are happy to help in any way that we can today, man. Hour and a half. Almost time for kickoff, man. Almost time for kickoff. Do you guys think I should start Lamar Jackson versus Detroit or Daniel Jones versus Atlanta? I've gotten both questions, and I am going back and forth on this one, man. Daniel Jones is QB4 right now through fantasy. He had that bomb to Darius Slayton, little overthrown, that Slayton could not hold on to last week. And he had the rushing touchdown called back by a bogus penalty call, right? So he could have had 40 points in fantasy last week. And now he is going up against the 32nd ranked team against opposing quarterbacks in fantasy, right? I mean, it's just like, I never thought I'd be considering starting Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson, right? It's just a weird week. Richard Glass, what is going on? Let me back up for a second. I'm sorry. BN, what is going on? Good to see both you guys in the chat and the live stream, man. Happy to have you guys here for the pregame action, man. Always good to have some members of the Catch fam before we kick off for Sunday. So happy to see both of you guys. Let's get to the questions, man. I have CMC, but now he's hurt. I need the most points to recover for CMC. Should I play Jonathan Taylor, or will Kenyon Drake have the chance for the most points? The way Kenyon Drake has been implemented, I think his ceiling is about 12 to 15 points, right? I think Jonathan Taylor personally has a higher ceiling overall, but it's a tough call because he hasn't been necessarily performing. Tennessee right now is ranked about 14th overall against opposing running backs, right? So it's not the greatest matchup, and we know that Carson Wentz is back, so it's not like this offense has to rely on Jonathan Taylor. So this is a tough call, man. Kenyon Drake versus Miami. Miami has been pretty bad against opposing running backs, the 27th ranked team overall. So looking at those two stats, knowing that Josh Jacobs is out, I think Kenyon Drake's got a pretty good chance to have more points. But it's a tough call, man. Of course, we can't exactly predict who's going to have more points, and it's a really tough call. But if you're asking me, oh my gosh, man, that's an extremely tough call. I mean, I think statistically, I can't talk. Statistically speaking, Kenyon Drake gives you the better opportunity. But if Jonathan Taylor goes off, man, he always has an opportunity to, and he is the lead back in that offense for a reason, right? So it's a tough call, man. I'd be interested to see if anyone else in the chat has input on that. Jonathan Taylor or Kenyon Drake I think looking at the opposing defenses, Kenyon Drake's the right recommendation, but Jonathan Taylor's always got the chance to score and have a big game, and I know we haven't seen that quite yet. I mean, week 1 was better than week 2, right? But overall, man, it's a very tough call. Richard Glass, let's get to your question as well. If Cook is out, would you start Madison over Tyson? I know about the Tyson love. Quite honestly, I wouldn't, because it's a really tough call. I mean, Seattle's been abysmal against opposing running backs, but so has Detroit. I like both of those starts a lot. I don't think either of them are bad starts by any means whatsoever. So, not to give you a vanilla answer or anything, but I would feel confident in starting either of those guys. If I had to pick one, quite honestly, I'm still in love with Tyson Williams this week, man. While Seattle is playing very poorly against opposing running backs, right? I'm sorry. While through week 2, right, Seattle's been playing very bad against opposing running backs. The point I was trying to make there is historically, they've actually played very good against the Minnesota Vikings for the most part when you go back and look at the stats. Dalvin Cook has had some crazy games against them and everything, but he's also actually had some bad games against them. So it's a tough call. And if you could start both of those guys, I think you should definitely consider it, man, because I think they're both worth starting this week if Dalvin Cook is out. As we have another turnover. Who is this? Number 28 is just balling. Holy crap. But oh well. Yeah, Richard, if you're asking me, man, I would personally still roll with Tyson Williams. I feel very confident in that start. It's not that I'm not confident in Alexander Madison. I think he'll have a good game if he starts. Don't get me wrong, man. But I just personally have more faith and more conviction at the moment in the Tyson Williams start. So that's where I'm at the moment. But it's hard to say, man. It truly is. Marquise, what's up, bro? What is going on, man? Happy to see you in the chat. Happy to have you here in the pregame live stream, man. If you got any questions, please give us a shout, man. Happy to get any last-second fantasy Q&A going for you, my guy. But nonetheless, appreciate the support. Appreciate you being here in the I almost said Sunday night. In the pregame Sunday live stream, man. BN, thank you. You are welcome, of course, man. That is what we are here for. So, no worries whatsoever. All right, let's see here. Yeah, our Madden team got far, far worse. All right. Clap nuts. How are you doing? Good to see you in the chat, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Hope you are ready for some week 3 NFL action. Excited to have you here and excited to kick back and just watch some football today, man. I need a little bit of rest. As Odell Beckham, man, here in Madden. It might be a sign that he might go off today. He just went off on us. All right. Start Tim Patrick, Gaskin, or Kirk at the flexible PPR. D Hop might not play. I think those are a couple good starts overall. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I've got Tim Patrick starting in my 20-man league. I like him this week at home versus the Jets. Guys are giving me tough ones today. I like Christian Kirk a lot too, regardless of if D-Hop plays or not. The problem with Christian Kirk, he's high risk, high reward, man. You see what he did in week 1, you see what he did in week 2. But quite honestly, I would honestly start Christian Kirk. But I think Tim Patrick's the next best play, and I would put Gaskin as the third worst play out of those guys. So if you're asking me, I mean, the way the Jaguars are playing and the way that Arizona's playing, I think it makes the most sense to start Christian Kirk. And really, like I said, regardless of if D-Hop is out there or not, and there is a potential that D-Hop plays, and he's more of a decoy overall, right? I mean, if he can suit up and go out there, which historically he always does, he doesn't have to have a good game for some of these other receivers to have good games, right? And I think it could actually help Christian Kirk and Rondell Moore, believe it or not, if DeAndre Hopkins is out there. Do I think it can help them if he's not out there? Yeah, of course, they're going to see more targets that way. But don't get twisted, man. D-Hop takes so much pressure off of the other receivers on the team that even if he's just out there suited up, it could definitely help this squad as well. So it's a tough call, man. But if you're asking me, I would probably roll Christian Kirk, and then I think Tim Patrick is still a very good play as well. So, I mean, we've talked about this, right? The Jets, technically speaking, are the third best team against opposing receivers at the moment. But when you look at the game script in those two games, I don't think there's much to read into there. So I do like Tim Patrick at home versus the Jets, man. I think the Broncos are going to want to come out and make a statement today. But with that being said, man, Christian Kirk and Tim Patrick, I think, are good plays. I think, I'll put it this way. I think Christian Kirk has a higher ceiling than what you'll get out of Tim Patrick. I think with Tim Patrick, you're looking with more 10 to 15 point range with a good game, right? And I think with Christian Kirk, you're looking anywhere 20 plus points, but at least 10 to 15 points as well. So I think Kirk has a better or a higher ceiling, and I think they're both still good plays, but I would personally start Christian Kirk if that was my own roster. Richard Glass. In that league, my 4 running backs are Carson, Tyson, Gaskin, and Madison. I have Carson and Tyson starting. I like that. Chris Carson, man. Chris Carson. Let's pull up the stats, guys. I like where he's at right now. I think it's a good start, man. I think those are the two safest starts right now, but man, Madison really has an opportunity to go off. Can you flex Madison? Let me know, Richard, how your flex position's looking, man. So you can get Tyson, Carson against Minnesota, Tyson against the Lions, and Madison against Seattle. I think you're in business, my guys. So let me know how the rest of your roster's looking. I know a lot of you guys have shown me your roster more than once, and I'm sorry, guys. It's a lot of information taken at once, so I do apologize, guys. I just also want to make sure I'm giving the best recommendations. I know a lot of you guys have shared your rosters with me, and sometimes I ask again, but it's really, I just want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the best advice possible. So let me know, Richard Glass, because I think if you can start all 3 of those guys, then, like I said, you're cooking with grease, right? All right, Sebastian, what is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you in the live stream and the live chat today, man. Hopefully another member of the Catch fam out here, but if not, man, we just appreciate you being in the live stream today for some week 3 pregame fantasy Q&A. All right, choose 3 players. Choose 3 players. 1 flex, 2 running backs: Jamar Chase, Javonte Williams, Alexander Madison, CEH, Miles Sanders. Really need to win this week. Hope you can read this legend. Whew. Putting the pressure on me, my guy. I need to win this week too, man. I'll tell you that much. So if you're asking me, man, definitely have some good players to choose from there. So let's see here. I think Javonte Williams is worth a start this week. I really, really, truly do. I like him this week. High risk, high reward. You guys know that I'm more of a safe better when it comes to these fantasy starts. But this week, I like Javonte Williams, man. I'm starting him. If that gives you any confidence. Starting him in my 12-man league. So I like that start. I like Jamar Chase with T. Higgins not being active today. I think Jamar Chase has a really good game, so I would start Jamar Chase. He is going to be the wide receiver 1 today for the Cincinnati Bengals. He has shown up here in week 1 and week 2, so I think Chase is a really good start. overall. So I would roll with those two guys. And then if Alexander Madison, right, if Dalvin Cook is out for sure, then I would start Madison. But if not, I think Miles Sanders is still a good start here in week 3 as well. So those would be my recommendations, right? I'm trying to let Nick Chubb score here. We need to let this team score. So that would be my recommendation at the moment. Let me know if you need any further clarification. Bipolar Bear, what is going up, man? Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Happy to have you here as always, man. Hope you're ready for some week 3 NFL action, man. It's going to be a good one overall, man. I can feel it. We need to let Nick Chubb score here. Please score, Nick Chubb. He went out of bounds. That helps us too, I guess. Let's get to the question. PPR flex, should I start Claypool, Shepard, James Robinson, or Pittman? I think Pittman and Shepard are the 2 best starts out of those guys. I could see Pittman having a monster game as he went off against the Rams last week, right? And now he's got a far, far easier opponent this week with the Tennessee Titans, who look awful in their secondary. So I like that start a lot, but I also like Sterling Shepard. I think that obviously he's got a fantastic start as well. Wow, I'm really trying to let Nick Chubb score, and it's not happening. We're going to lose this game in Madden, guys. But it's all good. No one cares about Madden. We're here for the fantasy Q&A. I would flip a coin because Shepard versus Atlanta is such a good matchup as well, man. It's really tough to call. I like both Pittman and Shepard. I think they're your best options here in week 3. LA Rams 23, what is going on, man? Happy to have you here in the chat today. Happy to have you in the live stream. Appreciate you coming out and showing some support today, man. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam and subscribing down below. But if not, man, we just appreciate the support none the less. And man, are you ready for some week 3 NFL action? Because I sure as hell am. All right. In your opinion, would you start the Rams defense versus the Bucs today, or the Titans? Wentz is starting, but do we really think he finishes the game? It's a good question, man. It's a good question. If you're asking me, I'm starting the Rams defense today. And I know it's pretty risky, but I think they give you a good shot to have a good stat line. I actually don't like Tennessee's defense. This was a defense we talked about actually kind of early on in terms of someone you could pick up through the waiver wire, right? And, oh my God, we just threw a pick. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I like the Rams defense. I don't actually like Tennessee's defense today because they're bad. I like them more if Jacob Eason was playing, right? And I think Wentz will actually tough this game out, if you're asking me, man. I truly, truly do. We had a chance to win our Madden game, guys, and we lost. Super Bowl hangover. We won the Super Bowl, and we lost in our first game of the new season, man. I would start the Bucs defense, truthfully, man. Wentz is a tough football player, man. I think it's fair to say that he might not finish the game, but Tennessee, honestly, has looked very bad defensively. I mean, I don't even know if I can name more than 1 or 2 players in their secondary, and they are the worst secondary in the league right now. Yeah, if you're asking me, man, roll with the Rams. They're a better squad overall. They might be facing a better offense overall, but they still give you a better opportunity to have, even if it's only 8 to 12 points, man. I just don't see Tennessee performing that well defensively, man, especially with the fact that Wentz should be at least starting the game, right? All right, let's see here. C-Crypt, D-Hop is healthy now, status change. Thank you for the update, my guy. And like I talked about, man, even if DeAndre Hopkins plays today, I don't mind starting Christian Kirk and or Rondell Moore today. I think that, it could still, even with D-Hop out there, it still helps these guys because so much of the defensive pressure is going to have to be focused on DeAndre Hopkins. And look at the team they're facing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, who are they going to put on D-Hop? It doesn't even matter, right? I don't want to say he's a decoy by any means because he's a tough football player and he can play through some injuries, right? And traditionally he does suit up even when injured. So If that's the game plan, I think it still helps Rondale Moore and Christian Kirk. And if it's not the game plan and D-Hop balls out, well, I have a feeling we could still see Christian Kirk and Rondale Moore having very good afternoons from a fantasy perspective as well. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who we're about to face in Madden, very, very bad defensively, guys. So I think it's still a good matchup for all of those Cardinals receivers. Rai123ism, how are you doing, man? Hope you're doing freaking-tastic here. Hour and 15, man. Can't do math until week 3 kicks off, man. We are super stoked. Happy to have you in the chat and in the live stream, man. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam by subscribing down below. But if not, man, we just appreciate you being here in the live stream. Showing support in the live chat means a lot to us, man. I'm down bad. Henderson isn't playing, and I have Peyton Barber playing. LOL, such a deep league. Feel your pain there, man. I do. Peyton Barber, 100% touchdown dependent, but that's not to say that he can't potentially score, right? Let's see if I can't pull up his end zone or red zone touches, how he's been utilized. Should be able to here. Let's see here. I mean, he's got a chance to score against Miami, man. In deeper leagues, man, I mean, Miami's 27th against opposing running backs. Not good. Let's see how he's looked. He's had 1 red zone touch all year. So it's not great, man. He is touchdown dependent. But that sucks with D-Tendies hurting a lot of people with that rib injury. But honestly, with Darrell Henderson, it was a bad matchup anyways against the Buccaneers, right? But with that being said, it doesn't make it any easier, right, for you as a fantasy manager. But Peyton Barber could score, man. And that's kind of where you're placing your bets, placing your chips, man. And I certainly hope for your sake that he does. Richard Glass, I have Tyreek and Devontae with Sutton in my flex. Consider Madison over Sutton, but I really like Sutton this week. Yeah, I do too, man. I would not change that. It's a very tough call. I like where your running backs are at, but I would definitely keep Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, and Sutton in your lineup, man. I think it's a great 3 receivers to have by all means. So I wouldn't feel bad there. And I think whether you start Madison or Carson or not, man, you've got a very good shot to win. So I like where your roster is at, man, and I would keep it that way. And if you put Madison in over Carson, I still think it's a good play. Kind of flipping a coin there. But we want to see a true true designation, the true O around Dalvin Cook, right? But don't get me wrong, the Seahawks have been so bad against the pass, right? Or not, well, they've been okay against pass. They've been so bad against the run that I do think it's definitely worth starting Madison today. But it's a very tough call. I mean, like I said, man, your roster looks stacked overall, so I think you're going to be okay either way. All right, let's see here. Chase Brown, hey, just heard Dalvin Cook might not play. I put Madison over Boyd in my flex, got Julio in my wide receiver too. Did I make the right decision benching Boyd out of these 3? Worst case, if Cook does play, I can drop Mitchell for Sermon since he plays at 7:20 tonight and swap for Madison. Yeah. Listen, man. Let's see here. Loaded question. Trying to make sure I got my thoughts here together. I don't think you made the wrong call. Sorry, I was really, really trying to think this one out, man. I don't think you made the wrong call. But I like Boyd today, man. But I like Julio as well. So, yeah, I think you made the right call, if I'm answering it truthfully, man. I really do. I think that's a good call, looking at who else you've got there. It's a hard call. Yeah, I want to see the true designation of Dalvin Cook being out, guys. This is really tough for me to call for you guys. And I don't want to make the wrong call by any means. Of course, I mean, I never do. But overall, man, I think that is the right call. And you just kind of have to, let's see if there's any updates on Dalvin Cook yet. We're going to kind of be refreshing things and consistently looking at this. But yeah, I think it's the right call to answer your question, right? But I do think Boyd has the potential to have a good day, but I still like Julio over Boyd right now. But T. Higgins being out is a big deal overall in terms of Tyler Boyd's uptick in targets and receptions today, right? So let's just see if there's any updates. I don't think this has been updated. Let me see if I can't find a different source because obviously the Dalvin Cook injury is, I mean, it's got huge implications. Let's see. I'm trying to find the most recent. Let's see. Here's an hour ago. Let's go to this. All right. Sebastian says, thanks. You are absolutely welcome, my guy. Anytime. That is what we are here for. C. Crip, yes, he did at Chase Brown. Ethan Hartman. What is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Happy to see you in the chat. Happy to have you here, man. You ready for some week 3 NFL action? Because I am. I am super stoked for week 3. Let's get into the question. Miles Sanders or Cortland Sutton, PPR flex. I would roll with Cortland Sutton if you're asking me, man, especially in full PPR. Denver Broncos got the New York Jets at home. Their season opener, if I'm not mistaken, for the Denver Broncos, and I expect them to have a very good outing today, and I think Cortland Sutton has a great game today against a very bad New York Jets secondary. I don't mind Miles Sanders. I think he's going to have a pretty good game against the Dallas Cowboys as well, but if I had to pick between the two, I would roll with Cortland frickin' Sutton all day long. I think he is going to have a great performance as the wide receiver 1 for the Denver Broncos today. So thank you for the question, man. Happy to have you here at The Catch. If you have any other questions, go ahead and shoot us those questions in the live chat, man. And yeah, if you're not already subscribed, hope you consider becoming part of The Catch fam. At this point, guys, community is just growing and growing, and it's hard to keep up with who's subscribed and who's not. So I hate to always or to keep throwing that in there, man, but we want to see the community continue to grow. So if I am overbearing with that, I apologize, guys. But it's a great sign to see that the community is just getting stronger and stronger, guys, and that I can barely even keep up at this point, man. It's awesome. It's great stuff, man. Let's see. Steven, what is going on? Steven is in the house, man. Hope you are doing well, man. Happy to have our co-host and modulator, Steven, in the live chat as always, man. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Mitchell is looking sketchy rest of the season. Didn't look great against Eagles and is injured. Wilson is coming back soon, who's a proven player in system. And if Sermon is healthy, he will get the nod because they spent more draft capital. Probably. I see a Cook and Madison timeshare happening. Yeah, that is what I'm worried about. With a lot of people jumping the gun on Madison, because like I was saying, I mean, oh wow, I just messed up that play big time. But an injured Dalvin Cook against a very bad Seattle defense against the run, right? Is still a good fantasy start. I mean, he's still one of the best running backs in fantasy football, and even if he's hurt, as long as he suits up, it's still a good start to some degree, right? It's not as good of a start as usual, but it doesn't make it a bad start by any means either. And yeah, I could definitely see the Vikings coming out and implementing a timeshare, a split between the two backs if Cook does suit up. So it's hard to say, man. Let's see. I'm trying to look for more recent updates on Dalvin Cook, man. Let's see. Mike Zimmer made comments earlier in the week that made it sound as if Cook would not only play against the Seahawks, but he would also see a normal workload. With Cook playing a late afternoon game, fantasy owners will have even fewer choices to make for a backup if he's inactive. Yeah, we know that part, guys. Yeah, if possible, move Cook down to your flex position. I agree with that. And have one or have a running back or wide receiver for one of the late games or primetime games ready to go. I also agree with that. I think that's a good game plan. Alexander Madison will get to start and see the bulk of the carries for Minnesota if Cook can't go, making him a solid RB2 in all formats. Yeah, I don't disagree there, but we're just going to have to keep monitoring that, guys, and we'll try and get the latest updates that we can. I mean, I've got NFL Network on the screen, man. I've got the app kind of refreshing, so we'll try and get you guys a better update. But it's a hard call to make at this exact moment, man, because I would hate for you guys to miss out on points in terms of Alexander Madison kind of splitting time overall with Dalvin Cook today. So it's a tough call. Carr or Charlie P, what is going on, man? Hope you're doing well, man. Welcome to the Catch, man. Hope you are having a great weekend. Hope you're ready to relax and watch beautiful NFL Week 3 action, man. I am stoked for today. I'm just going to sit back. I'm just going to watch these football games, and I'm going to hopefully watch myself get some fantasy dubs today, man. So, welcome to the Catch, man. If you're not already a member of the Catch fan, I hope you consider subscribing down below. And if you are, then we appreciate you. And if you don't subscribe, man, we still appreciate you being active in the live chat here in the live stream. So, Derek Carr or Tannehill? Let's see, Steven. It looks like Steven may have got a response there. Despite Carr's injury, I think he deserves to be the start here. Colts secondary has gotten beaten up a bit, but I could see the Colts-Titans game move quickly with both. Oh, you're talking about wins. I'm sorry. Steven is confusing me. But, all right, if it's between Derek Carr or Ryan Tannehill, that's a tough call, man. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I did read that right. What Steven was referring to. Okay. Sorry, I confused myself for a second. Yeah, I mean, that's a very tough call. Steven says, could see low score total and low opportunities for Ryan Tannehill. I don't disagree with that either, man. I would personally roll with Derek Carr the way he's played, man. I truly, truly would. But it's a very tough call, man. I mean, Tannehill's been a little underwhelming. And Derek Carr versus Miami, who's still the 10th best team against opposing quarterbacks. But we went over this last night, man. I mean, Pittsburgh Steelers are 18th best team against opposing quarterbacks, which isn't great by any means. But I like Derek Carr's chance to beat up on the Miami Dolphins with what we saw happen last week between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. So I like that game script a little bit more, and I think the Dolphins are going to have to come out and throw the football a lot under Jacoby Brisket, right? Big old Brisket out there. So I like Carr, if you're asking me. But listen, man, I still think Tannehill is going to have a good season. He's just been underwhelming, right? And I would roll Derek Carr the way that Tannehill is played until we see a better game out of Tannehill. I think that Carr is the better start overall. Sorry, we got a little confused there. I got a little confused on the messages there from everyone, but nonetheless, man, I would roll with Derek Carr. I think he's got the momentum, and I think he is playing better overall. And I like the game script at the end of the day. Like Steven was saying, Colts secondary has gotten beaten up a bit, but I could see the Colts-Titans game moving quickly with both teams running the ball heavy. Yeah, I don't disagree with that either. So yeah, I would agree with Steven. I would roll with Derek Carr. All right, guys. I need your guys' honest opinion. I need everyone's input here. Lamar Jackson versus the Lions with the stomach bug, or Daniel Jones versus the Atlanta Falcons. It's a tough call, man. I never thought I'd be having to make this call in my entire fantasy career. But at this point in time, I am considering not Derek Carr. I am considering Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson. Am I crazy? I mean, let me know if I'm crazy. Am I overthinking this one? I might be. So I need all hands on deck, guys. I need some answers here because I mean, as much fantasy advice as I love to give, I need some myself as well. And if I'm crazy, man, let me know. Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, I think it's a tough call. Young Vision, what is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Catch. Welcome to the live stream, man. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam by subscribing down below. But if you do not, man, we just appreciate you being in the live stream, active in the live chat. That support means a lot to us as well. But hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're ready for a great week 3 NFL action, man. It's going to be a ton of fun today. I can feel it. The Catch fam, we are going to get some victories overall, man. It's going to be a great week, man. That's all I got to say. So let's see here. Let's get to the question, my guy. DJ Chark, Marvin Jones, TJ Hawkinson, or Shepard. Pick one for flex standard league. I like all those guys a lot. Steven says, wow, the Hawkinson flex pick could be nice right there. If not him, gotta go Shepard. I don't disagree. I think the best options there, I would rule DJ Chark out if you're asking me. I don't mind Marvin Jones. I think he's the better play out of the two Jacksonville Jaguars receivers. He's been very consistent so far. The chemistry between him and Trevor Lawrence has been proven as he scored a touchdown in both games here through the first 2 weeks. So I don't think he has a bad start, but I do agree with Steven. I think that Shepard and Hawkinson are the best moves, and I would probably start Hawkinson there the way that he's playing right now. But I think Shepard's a really good play too, and I don't mind starting Marvin Jones. But if I had to pick one of them, and I see Steven asking who's your other tight end, I would be interested to know as well. And I think that starting TJ Hawkinson is a great start in the flex. So, yeah, man, I think that, regardless of who you start, you're going to make a pretty good start overall. All right, let's see here. As you say, no other tight end. So let's see here. So, Young Vision, let us know. Do you not have a tight end spot? Are you only allowed to flex tight ends, or are you just starting Hawkinson and then asking which one of those receivers to flex? Because if that's the case, then I would start Sterling Shepard, but I like Marvin Jones as well in the flex this week. So if you need us to clarify, please let us know. But yeah, if Hawkinson's your starting tight end, then I think you start Sterling Shepard or Marvin Jones. If not, and you have to flex Hawkinson, I think he's a good play. But I do like all three of those receivers, man. I think you got a lot of good players to pick from. Okay, now I see. No tight end spot. Okay, I got you, man. That's a tough call, man. It's truly a tough call. I would start Hawkinson if it was my personal fantasy roster, though. The way he's playing is absolutely insane right now, and I think he's a good start. Although I do really like Shepard versus Atlanta, and I think Marvin Jones is going to have a good day against the Cardinals, right? But dude, I don't think you can bench Hawkinson right now. He's just been absolutely phenomenal so far in the season. So that would be my answer at the moment. If you need any other clarification, please let us know. And happy to see you in the live stream, man. Happy to see you here in the Catch, man. We are happy to have you here. Let's see. I have too many good receivers. It's so hard to pick out of those guys. Just need one for that flex spot. Yeah, man. You do have some very good receivers, and it's a good problem to have too many good receivers, and it happens a lot more at the receiver position than any other position in fantasy football. But if you're asking me, man, I would roll with TJ Hawkinson. I truly would. Opposing tight ends have played very well against this Baltimore Ravens team, so I would start him with pretty extreme confidence. And if you don't like the start, then I think Sterling Shepard's the next best start overall. Charlie P. Should I risk putting Cook in my lineup, or do I just start Michael Pittman? Whew. Tough question, man. I think we still need some further clarification overall. Wow, I suck at Madden, guys. What was that play? it's really hard to make the decisions around Dalvin Cook at the moment. But I think Michael Pittman's a great start, man. I really, really do. I think he's going to tear up this Tennessee Titans secondary. He tore up the Rams last week, man. So you might just want to roll with Michael Pittman. I don't want to be the guy who tells you not to start Dalvin Cook, man. Trust me, I truly don't. But we might see quite a limited play out of that. So, Steven, I'd be interested to get your input on this. Would you go ahead and start Pittman as a Colts fan, or would you hold off and start Dalvin Cook? Because it's a huge fantasy conundrum we're having here on this Sunday, this Dalvin Cook situation, guys. It's tough, man. So, very hard decision to make right there, man. But we'll continue that conversation as the stream goes, man, for sure. Steven says, gotcha. I mean, Hawkinson was kind of outperformed. Every wide receiver listed there, he has seen like 10 plus targets, and the Ravens defense is pretty bad this year. I'd lean Hawkinson. I don't disagree with that at the moment. Gio, hope I'm pronouncing that right, man. Go ahead and grill me if I'm not. I believe the X is silent. So, Joe, what is going on, man? Happy to have you in the chat. Happy to have you here at the Catch, man. Welcome to the Catch on this beautiful Sunday. Almost afternoon, almost time for NFL kickoff, man. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam by subscribing down below. But if not, man, we just appreciate you being here in the live chat, man. We appreciate you being here for the live stream, and we appreciate you showing support nonetheless. And the question, and let's hop right into your question. Sermon or Javonte Williams full PPR? See, you asked twice. Sorry, man. Try to get to you as soon as I could. Listen, man, if it helps you make the decision, I'm starting Javonte Williams this week, man, against the New York Jets. I think he's going to have a really good game. I don't like the Niners running backs, so I'm a little biased there. I have a problem starting them and the way they implement their backfield. I think Trey Sermon could have a very good game there. But personally, I would roll with Javonte Williams. I like Trey Sermon too. It's a tough call. He is the lead back against the Packers, who haven't been great against opposing running backs, right? So that's a tough call. You're basically flipping a coin there, but that's a very tough call. As I see Steven says, Javonte is 50-50 timeshare split. You are probably banking on him finding the red zone, which would make me lean Sermon. Coming out of Ohio State, this kid could do it all. He looked like an absolute stud. I think there is much greater chances he finds the red zone and gets more touches. I don't disagree with that. That's a very tough call. Like I said, personally, I just have one of those gut conviction feelings about Javonte Williams. So, statistically, it probably doesn't make that much sense. But that's the way that I'm currently leaning. But I think that Trey Sermon's a good start too. That's a tough one to call. We can continue that conversation as well here in the live chat, because that's a tough one to make a final decision on. Texas Eagles, what is going on, man? Hope you are doing well. Hope you're having a great weekend and you are ready for some beautiful action here in week 3, man. Happy to help you. Happy to have you here. Happy to help you as well. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam by subscribing down below. But nonetheless, man, we appreciate the support of you just being here in the live stream and in the live chat. Let's get to the question. Half point PPR, James White or Corey Davis? Tough question, man. I like the matchup for James White today, but considering you're getting essentially all of his value from a PPR standpoint, from a reception standpoint, and I like what we've seen him do through 2 weeks. I like the chemistry with Mac Jones, right? So if you're asking me, I would actually roll with Corey Davis in half point PPR, because I think he's got a better chance to find the end zone. Although this Denver Broncos team looks pretty legit, and I think that they're going to have a good day, I think that Corey Davis has a better opportunity to find the end zone. But let's go ahead and look at James White from a half PPR standpoint, man. Let's see here. Round RB 18. And he's actually got a pretty tough matchup. I don't really know why I said I like the matchup. I don't really like. I mean, the Saints are a little banged up right now, man. Defensively, that is. But it's still a bad matchup. Number 8 against opposing running backs is the New Orleans Saints, that is, right? And if you're asking me, I think Corey Davis is the better play. Let's go ahead and check some stats there as well. Not Mike Davis. We want Corey Davis. I mean, no, he had less than 2 points in half PPR last week. Trust me. I started him last week in half PPR. It's the best matchup he's had all season against the Denver Broncos, right? We know he had the 2 scores in week 1. So if you're asking me, man, in half PPR, I would roll with Corey Davis. That would be the start for me personally, but I still don't want to underestimate this Denver Broncos defense, man. Senor Cinnabon, it is good to see you, man. Hope you are doing fantastic, man. Hope you've been having a great weekend overall, and happy to have you here in the live stream. As always, glad to see you in the live chat. Do I start DeAndre Hopkins this week, or do I start Rondale Moore instead, because Hopkins hasn't been at practice all week and he has a rib injury? Yeah, if you have both of them on your roster, I think the safer bet is Rondale Moore. I never want to tell anyone to bench DeAndre Hopkins, who's arguably the best receiver in the whole National Football League. But if the injury is concerning you, and I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I mean, we've talked a lot about DeAndre Hopkins last night and today. Even a banged-up DeAndre Hopkins, similar to a banged-up Dalvin Cook, is a good fantasy start against a bad defense, right? And they both are played against bad defenses. So it's a tough call. But, yeah, I think if you are concerned about the injury, I think Rondale Moore is a safe start there. But, hey, I'm not underestimating DeAndre Hopkins, even if he is dealing with an injury. He is a player who doesn't have to practice. He is at that caliber. So, very tough call. But like I said, if you are concerned about the injury overall, then I think Rondale Moore is an okay start at the moment. I think he's going to have a very good week. Steven asked the question in last night's live stream, are we crowning Rondale Moore too soon? And we could be, but I've got a lot of conviction in Rondale Moore at the moment. I really like where he's at. I know it's a small sample size. I think it's a great matchup, and I don't mind the start, but listen, man, I'm putting it out there with fair warning because I am not trying to disrespect our guy DeAndre Hopkins by any means, who always has an opportunity to ball the fuck out. So tough call there, Senor Cinnabon. But happy to see you, man. If you need any further clarification or you have any other questions, man, you know we got your back, so let us know, man. All right, Wooga Luga, how are you doing, man? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday, man. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fan by subscribing down below. But if not, man, we just appreciate you being up in the up in the live stream, man. Glad to have you here. Appreciate the question today, man. Appreciate you showing support through the live chat, man. Let's get to the question. Michael, Gaskin, Sermon, Alaire, choose to non-PPR. And that was Michelle, not Michael. I'm sorry. I would go with Trey Sermon out of those 4 guys. And then, tough call. Tough call. I think Sermon's got the best chance out of those guys to score. I don't like where Clyde Edwards-Helaire is at right now, man. And I like Sony Michel as well, but remember week 1 what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did to Ezekiel Elliott, right? I mean, they actually looked pretty porous against the Atlanta Falcons last week and their running backs. So I don't know if that's too much to read into, right? I would roll the dice with Sony Michel because if I'm not mistaken, right, at this point, Darrell Henderson is out, right? Let's double check that. Let's double check that because that's obviously going to be what determines that start overall. I know he's doubtful last I checked. He's questionable now. So that's a hard call. Let's see. He is not expected to play. So let's see. I mean, yeah, Tampa Bay is actually 22nd against opposing running backs. So yeah, if you're asking me, man, if that was my personal roster, I would put in Michelle and I would put in Sermon. I like where they're at in their respective offenses more than I like where Clyde Edwards-Helaire is and where Myles Gaskin is. So that's my answer for you, man. Thank you for the question. Let me know if you need any further clarification or if you have any other questions, man. TX Eagles or Texas Eagles, I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll sub you. I appreciate that support, man. Truly, truly means a lot to the channel. Nothing helps the channel more than when you guys hit that sub button, become a true member of the Catch fam as we miss an extra point here at Madden. So we appreciate that support, man. We do a lot of these live streams, a lot of weekly videos, daily videos, man. So anytime you have questions, feel free to hop into the live stream and drop them in here if you ever have questions throughout the week on the pre-recorded videos. We do put out videos every day, put out content every day, man. So we appreciate that support, man. And we are here to help you make your fantasy decisions and win some fantasy football games here in 2021. Man, what a fun season as week 3 is 45 minutes away from kicking off. Daniel, what is going on? Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the Catch. Welcome to the live stream, man. You already know what time it is, man. If you enjoy the live stream, go ahead and consider subscribing down below and becoming part of the Catch fam. But nonetheless, we appreciate you being up in the up in the live stream today before week 3 kicks off. We appreciate you throwing some questions in the live chat. Half PPR, Osborne or Javonte Williams. I like both of those guys this week. I've got both of them starting in my half PPR league. If I had to pick one, I'm assuming that's your flex position, I would roll with Javonte Williams. Listen, I've got high conviction in him right now at the moment, man. And if he doesn't have a good game, I'm going to feel really bad because this is just one of those gut feelings right now, man. I just think he has an opportunity to really show up here in week 3 and make a claim as to why he should take that backfield against a very bad, well, not a very bad defense, right? But not a great defense, right? Well, the Jets suck. I don't know what I'm saying, man. So overall, yeah, I like Javonte Williams. I mean, the Jets have shown some flashes of being decent defensively, but they're not going to play well today, man, at all. So I like Javonte Williams, but I think if you start KJ Osborne, he's a very safe play. Better play in full PPR, but don't get me wrong, he still has looked very good in half PPR as well. So I like both of those starts, man, and I think either way you are making a good start. But personally, I think Javonte Williams has a better opportunity to reach the end zone overall. So that's my answer. If you need any further clarification, please let me know. Happy to help in any way that I can today. Oh, man, I read the play. Oh, did we stop him? We stopped him. Beautiful Madden win here. Richard Glass, would you start Madison or Mixon? Tough call. Tough call. It's a tough week to make these calls, man. Do we have any update on Dalvin Cook? Let's see. Let's see. All right, 39 minutes ago. Let's find the Vikings. No inactive calls at the moment. So that doesn't help. It's a tough call, man. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to zone out on you. I'm just trying to find any more information on Dalvin Cook as a whole. Joe Mixon's got a tough matchup, but really only on paper, as we know that overall the Pittsburgh Steelers are a little banged up, right? And it's just hard to make the Madison call right now. I mean, I'm not trying to not help you guys, right? I'm not trying to not be helpful, man. But it's just so hard. Honestly, I would probably start Joe Mixon it's very unlikely Dalvin Cook plays. Apparently, that's been the sentiment for the Vikings all week long. So maybe Madison is the better play. He's got the better matchup, right? If Cook's not playing, then Madison's the better matchup. He's the better play. But it's so tough to call right now, man. Start not Dalvin Cook. Start Madison. Do it. I think it's the better play. At this point, guys, we're starting Alexander Madison. We're flipping the switch, man. Madison's the play. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Tough call though, man. It's a tough Sunday. It truly, truly is. All right, Daniel, thank you. Would you say swap James Robinson for Javonte Williams and then put out Osborne in flex, or just keep James Robinson as RB2 and fill Javonte Williams as flex? It's interesting because I have all three of those players in my 12-man league. And I have Robinson on the bench. I'm kind of scared of James Robinson right now and the way that he's being underutilized in that offense. So if you're asking me, man, I think that's a good plan. I would leave James Robinson out, get Javonte Williams in, and then flex Osborne. I think that's going to be a more consistent play overall. So, yeah, I think that's a good plan. And, yeah, that's what I would do personally. That's what I am doing in my 12-man league, which is a half PPR league. So, yeah, coincidental, man. We got some of the same guys rolling today. So, we'll either we'll go down together or we will get a dub together. Only time will tell, right? So, yeah, tough call, but I just don't like what we're seeing out of James Robinson, who is someone I was super high on in the offseason and preseason as a whole. So it's a tough call, but I am benching James Robinson this week, and I like Javonte Williams to have a better game. It looks like on NFL Game Day morning, they're going over the Broncos at the moment, expecting them to win. And yeah, I expect that as well. Let's see here. Mixon or Richard Glass. Mixon plays early and Madison plays later. That's what sucks. Yeah, it does suck, man. It's very hard to call overall. And they're really they're going to hold off. I mean, it helps the Vikings if their opponent doesn't know who's starting, right? If Seattle doesn't know who's starting, so they're going to hold off as long as they can. We'd hope to get an injury soon, but we'll probably get it later rather than sooner. So it's a hard call, but I could see Joe Mixon having an outing like he did last week, although Pittsburgh actually hasn't been too entirely great against opposing running backs. So it's a really tough call, man, and it puts us in a very bad spot as fantasy owners. But overall, I think the right call and the better matchup is to start Madison. But if you don't like, if it's giving you too much worry, then I still think Joe Mixon has a pretty good start overall, but I could also see him having a more mediocre game as well. So it's a tough call, man. Not an easy Sunday for us fantasy owners and us fantasy advice givers, right? So tough call, man. Hate to see this for a lot of you guys who do own Dalvin Cook. Could be worse. He could own Christian McCaffrey like me. So it's a hard call, man. Hopefully I've been helpful for you, Dalvin Cook owners, at least helping you make your decision, right? I mean, at the end of the day, man, always trust your gut. Go with your gut instinct, right? That's what we preach here at The Catch. But it's a tough call today, man. It truly, truly is, man. So I've hoped some of you guys make that decision, although I know it's been very difficult for me overall to know what the right call is. And yeah, they're going to hold out as long as they can before giving a true designation on Dalvin Cook. I'm just like constantly refreshing any sources that I can. Or Daniel, thank you again. Hopefully we both get the dub. I hope we do, my guy. I truly, truly, truly hope we do, and I hope lead you to a victory this week, man. And so yeah, we appreciate you being here today, man. Appreciate you being a member of the Catch Fam. As I see Richard Glass says, I'm playing a Cook owner, so I'm going to play Madison against him just because. LOL. Yeah, I like that plan too, man. I think that's a good call. That's a good final deciding factor for you. So I like that call, man. I think it's a good plan. So yeah, that's what's up, man. All right, so I probably need to switch Daniel Jones out of my starting lineup and throw in our guy Lamar Jackson, who I took out. Probably need to change that. It's a very tough call, guys. I really want to start Daniel Jones just because I think it'd be funnier if I won a fantasy game with Daniel Jones starting over Lamar Jackson. But it's probably not the right call. Probably not at all. Lamar Jackson will probably have 3 scores within the first 5 minutes of this game. So we're going to roll with Lamar Jackson. But I won't be surprised if Daniel Jones tears it up. So I've got Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, David Montgomery, Zach Pascal, KJ Osborne, Mike Gesicki, Javonte Williams as my core lineup. On my bench, I've got Robinson, Cephas, Corey Davis, Tim Patrick, Henry Ruggs, and Antonio Brown, who I scooted to the IR spot for the time being. So I hope I win because I think that's who I have to roll with right now in my 12-man half PPR league. I like Tim Patrick this week. I don't mind Corey Davis or Cephas either. But I think I'm starting the guys with the biggest upside, and that's what we need, man. If we're going to win this week, we need some upside play. Logan Hardy, what is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Catch. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Hope you are excited. We got about 30 minutes or so until we kick off, just about. And yeah, man, hope you're doing well. Hope you consider subscribing down below and becoming part of the Catch Fam. But if not, man, we just appreciate you being here in the live stream and the live chat. Do I trade Tyreek for Justin Jefferson and Najee Harris? I would have to see the rest of your roster to really make that decision, but I would not recommend trading Tyreek Hill with the ceiling that he gives you week in and week out, which is honestly like 35 points at any given time in full PPR. So if you're asking me, man, my answer would be no. But if you need the depth at running back and you think Justin Jefferson gets you that consistent ceiling on a week in and week out basis, which he does, about 10 to 15 points no matter what, right? And if you need the running back depth, then you could consider it. But overall, man, it's really tough for me to advise trading potentially the best receiver in fantasy football, and if not, easily a top 5 fantasy receiver in fantasy football every single week. So I know last week was disappointing against the Ravens, but I would not advise trading Tyreek Hill. I'd have to see the rest of your roster. So let me know if you want further clarification on that, my guy. Stephen X, what is going on, man? Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the Catch today. Welcome to the stream, man. If you do enjoy the stream today, hope you consider subscribing down below and becoming part of the Catch fam. But nonetheless, man, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being in the live chat. Is Calvin Ridley going to be good today? That's a good question, man. I mean, it's a pretty decent matchup against the Giants. So yeah, I do expect this to be a pretty high scoring game amongst the Giants and Falcons. So yeah, I expect Calvin Ridley to put up a solid stat line today. And yeah, I think he has a good game overall. David Montgomery or Gibson, PPR. Let's see. It's a tough call. I would start David Montgomery. They both have pretty bad matchups, but I'm starting Montgomery in my half PPR league. I like where he's at. The Buffalo Bills are the best defense in the league right now. I know it's a small sample size, plenty of time for that to change, man. But at the moment, they're the best, defense in all of football, fantasy and non-fantasy. So I if I had to choose between the two, I would start David Montgomery. Even though the Browns aren't a great matchup, I still like him more than I like Antonio Gibson right now. So that would be my answer for you. So thank you for the question. Let me know if you have any other further questions. All right. Marquise, Russell Wilson, Jonathan Taylor, Tony Pollard, Hill, Mike Williams, Hawkinson, Carolina defense gave me a solid 10 points, and Brandon Cooks and my flex gave me 20 Thursday. Feeling a little bit better about my shaky running back situation. Good, man. I'm glad to hear that overall. I think the roster looks solid, man. I think you're going to have a good week overall here in week 3. So yeah, I like where you're at, man, and I think it's going to be a good outing for you today. I'm glad you're feeling better about the running back situation that we discussed pretty thoroughly last night in the late night stream. And yeah, man, I can definitely see you having a good week 3 overall. Logan Hardy, the rest of my team is Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Chris Carson, Tyreek, DJ, Moore, Waller, and Marvin Jones at flex with Sermon as my RB3. Yeah, man, I don't see the need to trade away Tyreek Hill at this given time. I think you keep him, man. I truly, truly do. His ceiling is just so high on a weekly basis that, and I like where the rest of your team is at the running back and wide receiver position. So if you're asking me, I would not trade Tyreek Hill. I mean, you drafted him when you did for a reason. And looking at the rest of your roster, I'm assuming you drafted him in the first round. And if you did not, you drafted him in the second round. So hold on to him, man. I think he's going to have, give you a better ceiling week in and week out on a consistent basis. So I would roll with keeping Tyreek Hill. And that's where I'm standing on that one, man. But your roster looks good overall. So I wouldn't worry too much, my guy. So let's see here. TS, hope you're doing well, man. Welcome to the catch, man. Welcome to the live stream, man. Any of you new faces out there, hope you guys consider subscribing to the channel, man. It truly, truly does help out, and we'd love to see you guys become a member of the Catch fam. If you guys are already subscribed, we truly, truly appreciate the support. Appreciate all of the Catch fam, man, as always. And if not, man, we do just appreciate you guys being in the live stream and also, being in the live chat and actively asking questions. So Juju or Hollywood in flex position at full PPR, man. I would roll with Hollywood Brown against an abysmal Detroit Lions defense that's giving up a lot of points through the air and on the ground, man. I like we're getting roasted by the Texans and Madden here. I like Hollywood Brown this week. I think he's going to have a big week, man. I would start him with pretty extreme confidence. Nothing against Juju, against the Bengals. He does play his best football, generally speaking, against divisional opponents, right? And I think he is a good start, man. But I think that Hollywood Brown is the better start overall. So I would start him with pretty high confidence here in week 3. All right. Lilith479, what is going on? Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the catch. Hope you're ready for some week 3 NFL action, man. I am stoked. I sure hope you are. Juwan Johnson versus Freemuth. Good question, man. Haven't heard about my guy, Pat F, in some time. This was a player I was very, very excited about in the off season. We still haven't seen it exactly play out, right? I'm assuming you're in a deeper league overall. If those are 2 tight ends you're considering. Listen, man. Pat F has only had 5 targets through the first 2 weeks, and Cincinnati is actually playing pretty well against opposing tight ends, ranked at the 5th best team against opposing tight ends. So I don't know that he has a great matchup. And I don't know that we have a large enough sample size to start him with confidence. But with that being said, right, you take away the 2 touchdowns by Johnson in week 1, and he looks like non-existent, right? And New England is the 2nd best team right now against opposing tight ends, right? So it's a bad matchup for Johnson as well. But if you're asking me, at least we've seen Johnson in the end zone and targeted by Jameis Winston in the end zone in this same season. So it's a very tough call overall. But I think that Johnson gives you the better upside there. But I'm a fan of Pat F, man. I still think he is going to have a good breakout season at some point in time within the season. So I don't hate him as a start, man. But I think that Johnson's the better start at the moment. If you're asking me, I think he gives you better upside than our guy Pat F, which pains me to say because I still am holding out for Pat F to have a great season. So thanks for the question, man. If you got any other questions, please let me know as well. And a lot of new faces hopping in here, guys. If you guys are not subscribed, please consider subscribing, as it truly, truly helps out the channel more than anything. And we'd love to see you guys become a part of the Catch fam today. And yeah, man, we just appreciate you guys being here nonetheless. That support truly means a lot to us. So let's see here, guys. Kyle Edmonds said, Tyson Williams or Madison, half PPR, please help. Listen, man, I would start Tyson Williams personally because we know how he is going to be implemented 100%. We know what we're going to see out of him, what we expect to see out of him against the Lions today. We know what Elijah Mitchell did to the Lions in week 1. We know what Aaron Jones did to the Lions in week 2. I think it's the safer start. We don't know if Dalvin Cook is going to suit up. It's very unlikely that he does. Seattle is very bad against opposing running backs. I get all of that, but we could still see Dalvin Cook out there. We could still see a split backfield for the Vikings today. So it's a very tough call overall, man. But if you're asking me, I would just start Tyson Williams, as I think it's the safest call for the day. He is going to shred the Detroit Lions. Overall, the Detroit Lions are going to get absolutely just decimated today, okay, by the Ravens. So I think that it's a good call. I'm checking my screen here to see if we're getting any updates as we're approaching the kind of final minute marks here before week 3 kicks off. Not seeing anything popping up here, but yeah, Kyle, I would start Tyson Williams. I still think Madison has a chance to have a great game and everything. Seattle's very bad against the opposing running backs, right? But if you're asking me, man, I would start Tyson Williams, as we have extreme confidence in that play as a whole. And yeah, that's where I sit at the moment. But let me know if you have any further questions or need any further clarification as well. All right, let's see here. Hugo, Woods versus Bucks, Chark or Tim Patrick? I would rule out Chark because, I mean, he's boom or bust, man. So, yeah, could he put up 20 points potentially against the Cardinals? Sure. But if you're asking me, I think that Tim Patrick is a pretty safe play this week. But I like Robert Woods as well. I mean, the Buccaneers secondary has been very bad, and I think that Woods is the safest play, as he's basically guaranteeing you anywhere from 10 to 15 points in full PPR. So I would start Woods personally out of those guys, but I don't mind Tim Patrick, and DJ Chark always has high upside. So it is a tough call, but if it was my roster, I would put in Robert Woods, if you're asking me. Fantasy catch-up. Let's see. Michael Pittman, Rondell Moore, Zach Pascal, Robert Woods. Let's see. So if I'm choosing one of those guys in the flex, it's a very tough call. I would roll with Michael Pittman, as he is the only true wide receiver 1 out of those guys, and he went absolutely off last week. So yeah, I mean, I think those are all good flex options. I like Rondell Moore's upside a lot this week. I really, really like him overall. I think Zach Pascal is going to have a good game. I think Robert Woods is going to have a good game. But the true wide receiver 1 out of those 4 guys is Michael Pittman. And I think he tore it up last week against the Rams, and he is going up against arguably the best defense in the league in the secondary in the Tennessee Titans. So I would roll with Pittman out of all of those guys. Marquise L. Enjoy the games, my guy. Got to go get ready to scream at the TV. LOL. Yeah, man, I feel you there. So I appreciate you being up in the live stream today, man. Appreciate your support. As always, a newer member of the Catch fam, but nonetheless a loyal member of the Catch fam. So, yeah, man, appreciate you being here and hope you have a great Sunday afternoon. Let's see. Kyle Edmondson, Mike Williams or Robert Woods in CBS Fantasy? Last question. I appreciate it. I would start Mike Williams, man. The pace he is on is fantastic. He is looking like a 15-plus point fantasy player with more than 20 points in week 1 and week 2 in full PPR. So I would roll with him with pretty extreme confidence, as I expect this Chiefs and Chargers game to be a true shootout. I think that he is a great start. I think Robert Woods is still a safe start, but I would personally start Mike Williams if I had to choose between the two. So thanks for the question, man, and we appreciate you and your support here at The Catch. Justin Mills, Sony Michel, Madison, or Hollywood PPR. If it was my roster, I would just roll with Hollywood Brown, as he looks to be a very safe start overall right now. And he's played against such a bad secondary with the Detroit Lions. We don't know exactly how Madison's going to be implemented today. I mean, I think he could definitely pay off, and we just don't know exactly if Dalvin Cook is going to play. I mean, it's just a really tough call. I think the safest play out of those guys is Hollywood Brown, but I do think that Sony Michel and Madison could have big games. But Hollywood Brown, in terms of PPR, is also probably the best value overall. So I would roll with our guy Hollywood Brown against the Lions, man, and I think it's a good start overall. Fantasy Catch-Up. I need cheap running backs for DraftKings, bro. Unfortunately, I don't play in any leagues that are like leagues where you have to pay. What do they call those? I don't even know the names of them, which is probably bad. I probably should. I should probably look more into that for you guys, but unfortunately, I wouldn't know who are cheap running backs in that style of league. So maybe that's something I can prepare for more next week. But yeah, I don't play in any leagues where you have to like actually buy players and everything. So I do apologize, but I wouldn't know at the moment anyone good to recommend at this given point in time. So maybe next week I can prepare more for that. Rock out. Hopper or Schultz full PPR. So I'm assuming that's Hooper or Schultz. That's another tough call, man. Assuming it's a deeper league overall. I like both of those guys. I actually view them relatively similar. We would hope that Dalton Schultz showed more what he showed in week 1. And then, Hooper's got a good chance to put up a good stat line here. About 9 points last week in full PPR going up against Chicago. So let's see here. If it was me, I would take the chance on Dalton Schultz, but I also don't like that. I would probably start. I mean, I'm going back and forth in my mind there. I truly, truly am. Austin Hooper versus Chicago. Let's just double check the specific stats here. Let's see. How is Chicago looking against opposing tight ends, man? Chicago's number 7 against opposing tight ends, right? So that's not great. And then let's double check Dalton Schultz here. Philly's number 14. But Dalton Schultz did nothing last week. I would start Hooper. To answer your question, man, I would start Hooper at this point in time. Mike Honcho, what's up, bro? I need help in PPR. Should I play Rondell or Fuller? I would start Rondell more all day between those two guys. We want to take a step back and see how Will Fuller performs before we throw him into our starting lineup. So I like where Rondell Moore is against the Jaguars right now, and that would be my start if it was my personal roster. Landon, what is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Catch. Hope you are getting excited. We got like less than 20 minutes before week 3 pops off, man. I think it's going to be a great week 3. A lot of fun today. So let's get into the question, man. Hope you consider subscribing if you're not already a member of the Catch fam, man. But nonetheless, we do just appreciate you being in the live chat and in the live stream. Start 2. Happy PPR. Robert Woods, Tyson, Sermon, also Danny Dimes or Tannehill, please. Tyson Williams all day long against the Lions, and then I would throw in. It's a tough call between Robert Woods and Sermon, but I think Robert Woods is the safer play, and Sermon gives you a higher upside play. So I like both of those guys. If it was me personally, the way that the Niners implement their running backs, I would probably roll with Robert Woods and Tyson Williams, but I think that Sermon gives you better upside than Robert Woods. But don't forget that this Buccaneers secondary is pretty bad overall. So if it was my roster, I'd probably have Robert Woods and Tyson Williams in there. And then honestly, man, Indy's secondary is not that bad. So I don't mind Tannehill this week, although he's been a little underwhelming. But if it was my roster and I had to choose between Danny Dimes and the way he's playing right now and Ryan Tannehill, man, I'd put Danny Dimes against Atlanta in there. I mean, I've been considering starting Danny Dimes over Lamar Jackson. So I would start Daniel Jones with pretty extreme confidence against the Atlanta Falcons. You look very bad against opposing quarterbacks right now. So let me know if you need any further clarification on that. Ray Gamer, what is up, man? Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're ready for week 3. Good to see you here in the live stream today. Pick 2, CEH versus Chargers. Pollard versus the Eagles, or Hunt versus the Bears in standard scoring format. Tough calls, man. Wow, tough calls. I would roll with Pollard and Hunt, man. It's a tough call, though. I'm not sold on Clyde Edwards-Helaire right now. That's just my personal bias, so that's how I'm making that decision. So it's a tough call, though. Those are 3 running backs I kind of view in similar fashion, man. Not really the true RB1s on their team, right? Clyde Edwards-Helaire is, but the way that the Chiefs play, I don't know that they have a true RB1, right? And their run game has looked pretty weak overall. So I would roll with Pollard with a chance to score in an NFC East potential shootout. And then I would roll with Hunt, as he always has a chance to play well, although he's relatively inconsistent. Those would be the 2 guys I would start if it was my personal lineup. Rock out, what is going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Happy to see you in the chat, man. Happy to have you in the live stream as always. Hope you're ready for week 3, ready to kick off. And less than 15 minutes, guys. Rock out. Cephas, Corey Davis, Kirk, full PPR. Tough call. If you're asking me, it's between Cephas and Christian Kirk. I think Christian Kirk could have a really big game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think any of these Arizona Cardinals wide receivers could have really big games against the Jacksonville Jaguars today. So it's a very tough call, right? I mean, a lot of people would say if DeAndre Hopkins is not playing, then it's a good start for Christian Kirk. But even if he does play, I think all 3 of these Arizona Cardinals receivers could have very good games. So it's a tough call, man. But overall, I would roll with either Cephas or Christian Kirk. I think that Corey Davis has a chance to get closer to what we saw in week 1 this week. But overall, I would flip a coin between Cephas against a very bad Ravens secondary. He's a very underrated player at this point in week, or leading up to week 3 in fantasy. I do like where Quentin Cephas is at a lot. I've got him in my 12-man league. So yeah, I like both of those guys overall. But personally, it's just a tough call. You kind of have to flip a coin. That's a really, really tough call, man. Justin Mill says Cook is out and Henderson is out. Ray Gamer, yeah, I have Cook. I still haven't seen anything that officially says Dalvin Cook is out, but yeah, he is more than likely out. So it's just hard to evaluate from a fantasy perspective at this point in time. A lot of conflicting reports at the moment, and most of them are saying doubtful or questionable at the moment. And I haven't seen anything that says he's officially out, but he probably is out. And yeah, Henderson is out as well. So let's see here. Even if Henderson wasn't out, it's still a bad matchup, both him banged up versus the Buccaneers. So let's see here. Your boy Mari, sorry for the mispronunciation. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Catch, man. Hope you consider becoming part of the Catch fam today. But let's get to the question, as we appreciate you either way. Sterling Shepard or Scary Terry? I think it's crazy, man, to say it, but I think Sterling Shepard has the better outlook on the day, as the Atlanta Falcons look pretty abysmal overall, right? And yeah, I think Sterling Shepard's going to eat today, man. I truly, truly do. I think he's going to have a great game. So I'm on this Sterling Shepard train, man. And I would roll with him, as Buffalo looks very good. They are the 8th ranked best team against opposing receivers, and they look very, very good from a defensive standpoint as a whole. So I would roll with Sterling Shepard, as he has a much better matchup overall. All right, start 2. Mike Davis, Damian Harris. This is from CHB. Hope you're doing well, man. Happy to see you in the live chat, man. For all you new faces out there, hope you guys consider subscribing and becoming part of the Catch fam today. But let's see here. Start 2. Mike Davis, Damian Harris, or Trey Sermon. Also start 1 in the flex, Thielen or A.J. Brown. My other starting receivers are Tyreek and Lockett. Okay, I would definitely keep Tyreek and Lockett in there. I would roll, personally, with Damian Harris and Trey Sermon. I don't like where Mike Davis is at right now. So I would roll with Harris and Sermon. Although Harris has a tough matchup, and we still haven't really seen Sermon as a lead back, I would still put the faith in those two guys finding the end zone today. 1 in the flex, Thielen or A.J. Brown. Personally, the way Thielen is playing and that amount of trust that Kirk Cousins is still putting in him, against an okay through 2 weeks here, an okay Seattle Seahawks secondary, I would start Adam Thielen as he's looking as the wide receiver 4 at the moment. I would start Adam Thielen right now if you're asking me in the flex. So I think you have some good starts overall, though. Fendi, what is going on, man? Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're ready for week 3 of the NFL season, man. I sure as hell am. All right, let's see what's the question here. PPR, Trey Sermon, DeAndre Swift, or Tyson Williams. I think Swift is a pretty good option there. But overall, man, I am starting Tyson Williams versus the Lions all day long. That's my final answer. Like where he is at against a team that got decimated by Elijah Mitchell in week 1 and absolutely decimated in week 2 by Aaron Jones. I think Tyson Williams is a true must start this week, although I don't think the other options are bad. And the Ravens haven't looked great defensively, so DeAndre Swift is a pretty good pick there as well. So, but yeah, personally, if it was me, I would be starting Tyson Williams. All right, Hugo, Garcia, James Robinson, or Mike Davis. It's tough, but I would personally gamble with James Robinson as I am just not high on Mike Davis at the moment whatsoever. I mean, the New York Giants haven't been very good against opposing running backs thus far, but I just don't like where Mike Davis is at and what we saw out of Cordell Patterson last week, right? So I would personally roll with James Robinson, although I don't like either of those guys a whole lot. But if I had to pick one, I would probably gamble with James Robinson and hope that Urban Meyer can get him more involved here in week 3, right? I mean, it's just been abysmal how Urban Meyer has been implementing his offensive weapons, right? So let's see here. Nunya, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Happy to see you in the chat, man. Hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to the Catch. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you are having a great day, man. Happy to have you here. Shep at Falcons or Terry at Buffalo? We just had that same question, man. I would start Sterling Shepard. I think it's a much better matchup overall. Half PPR. Should I drop Devin Singletary for Mike Davis? Honestly, I would not drop Devin Singletary for Mike Davis at this point in time, man. Singletary looks to be the lead back in that offense, right? I mean, that could change with Zach Moss there, of course, but I like Singletary over Davis, and I like him over Zach Moss as well. So I wouldn't do that personally. I would hold on to Devin Singletary and see how the rest of the season kind of plays out. So that's where I'm at this point in time. Yeah, I would hold on to Devin Singletary, who I think could continue to surprise a lot of people as the lead back and what should be a good offense week in and week out, led by also a good defense for the Buffalo Bills right now. So yeah, I would start Sterling Shepard and I would hold on to Devin Singletary. I don't like where Mike Davis is at all right now. So let's see here. Victor Vaughn, start Swift or Sanders PPR? Honestly, man, I would start DeAndre Swift the way he's looked in full PPR. I think Sanders is still a good start as well against the Dallas Cowboys, but being both these defenses, the Ravens defense and the Dallas Cowboys defense have not been good, in their secondary and against, PPR value running back. So I like both of them. I think if you flip a coin, you're going to have a good start no matter what. But personally, being that I think the Cowboys and Eagles game has a better chance of turning defensively, I would start Swift, as I think the Lions and Ravens are due for a little bit of a shootout today. So yeah, it's a tough call overall, but I would probably start Swift and I see now. Actually, start Swift, Sanders, or Williams. If it's Tyson Williams, man, he's a must start for me. I like all three of those guys. I think they're all going to have good games, man. But yeah, if Tyson Williams is in the mix, and I'm starting Tyson Williams, full PPR, half PPR, standard scoring format, whatever it may be, man, I'm starting Tyson Williams all day long. And let's see here. Jordan is asking Tyson or Madison. Man, I just think the safer start right now is Tyson Williams. If I'm wrong about this, guys, I'm sorry. I've had this question a couple times today. And yeah, it's a tough call overall, man. But if you're asking me, I'm going to roll with Tyson Williams against a very, very bad Detroit Lions that has been getting just completely cut up week in and week out so far this season, man. I like Tyson Williams. He was a must-start in my must-start running back video earlier in the week, man, and I'm sticking to it. It's where my gut conviction is at, man, and I think it's a better start overall. But listen, man, Victor, I like Swift and I like Sanders. I think that they are going to have good games here in week 3. My Madden receivers just failed us, guys. Completely failed us, man. I just had 4 drops in a row, so we're quitting Madden for the day. Sorry, guys, I was trying to rush through that, get you guys your answers. I know we only have 5 minutes until we kick off, so we are going to wind down the stream. If you guys have any last-second questions, please let me know. I am going to cool and relax at 1 p.m. and watch some football today. I can hang around for 5 minutes or so if you guys have questions that lead past 1 o'clock, man. But at the moment, man, we're going to get ready to wind down the stream and get ready for some week 3 action. I'm taking a look at my starters here. I've got Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, David Montgomery, Zach Pascal, KJ Osborne, Mike Gesicki, Javonte Williams, Matt Gay, and the LA Rams defense in my 12-man league. On my bench, I got Daniel Jones, James Robinson, Quentin Cephas, Corey Davis, Tim Patrick, and Henry Ruggs. I still think I'm making the best calls overall there. Let's check my 20-man league, man. Let's see here. Trevor Lawrence, Tim Patrick, Rondell Moore, Aaron Jones, James Robinson, Jared Cook, KJ Osborne, Graham Gano at kicker, and Carolina's defense. I've got DJ Chark and Corey Davis on the bench, then a ton of injured players. So I think I'm making the right calls there too as well. That is where I'm at. If you guys have any last-second questions, please let me know. For all the new faces who joined the live stream today, we truly, truly do appreciate you here at the Catch. Appreciate all of the new subscribers, all of the new members of the Catch fam, man. This is a growing community day by day. Cannot express to you guys how much it means to me as I see this community continue to grow, man. And that's what we are. We are a family. We are the Catch fam. We are here to help one another out all day long. So I truly appreciate all the new faces, everyone who decided to subscribe today, become a member of the Catch fam. You guys are the best, man. Truly, truly does mean a lot getting all of this support and growing this community up. Nicodad God, Clyde Edwards, Robert Woods, or Jamar Chase at flex, full PPR. I would rule out Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think Jamar Chase is going to see an uptick in targets here in week 3, as we know that T. Higgins is out. So I think that that's a good matchup and what should be a fun game to watch. Potentially a high-scoring game, but also potentially a defensive game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Bengals as well. So I like Jamar Chase this week, but I also think that Tampa Bay's secondary is very, very bad. They've played very, very poor. So Robert Woods is a good start as well. But I think Jamar Chase is going to present true wide receiver 1 value today, which sometimes can be a bad thing with the amount of defensive pressure that he's going to receive, but can also be a very good thing in terms of targets. And if he breaks one loose, I think he's got a good chance to have a very solid stat line today. So I like Jamar Chase a lot. Especially with T. Higgins being out, right? Be interesting to see how he performs now that he has more defensive pressure on him with T. Higgins not playing, right? And then with Robert Woods, man, I think he's going to have a good game. He's a very safe play, right? If you are worried about the defensive pressure on Jamar Chase from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think Robert Woods is going to guarantee you 10 points, and he's got a pretty good ceiling against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Could see a 15-plus point game. So I like both of those guys. I would definitely rule out Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't like where he's at this point in the season. The Chargers look good up front. I think that could be a shootout, but man, I would go with Chase or Woods. I think Woods might have a little bit of a higher ceiling, but I don't want to discourage you from starting Jamar Chase. I think they're both very, very good starts. So I hope that was a good answer. I know you've only got about a minute to make the decision, so I hope that helped you out, man. Let's see. Steven, Madison or Gibson has now become an issue. I'm going to cry over this decision, going Gibson. Tough decision, man. Gibson's got a tough matchup, Steven, our co-host, man. True member of the Catch fam right here, Steven, our modulator. Shout out to you, Steven. We appreciate you, man. Gibson's got a bad matchup, bro. Buffalo looks good against the run. They look good defensively. It's a tough call. As you say, I'm going to cry. And you're going Gibson. I would probably be crying too, man. It's a tough decision. It's going to be a tough week for you facing your mom, man. You gotta win that game. So I hope it works out for you, man. As it is now 1 p.m., it is time for NFL action to kick off, guys. I am super excited. We are now officially going to wind down the stream. As always, man, I appreciate you guys coming out today. I appreciate the support. Appreciate the community continuing to grow. Appreciate all the new faces in here today, man. Hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday, man. If you didn't already, go ahead and smash the like button. If you watch this retrospectively, go ahead and smash the like button. Go ahead and hit the sub button if you guys are not already a member of the Catch fam. If you watch this retrospectively, let me know how your week 3 lineup looked before things kicked off. But nonetheless, man, appreciate everyone who was in the live stream today. As always, appreciate all of the new members of the Catch fam. I hope everyone has a great Sunday. Enjoy some Sunday NFL Week 3. I hope everyone gets a fantasy dub today, and we see very minimal injuries as we have dealt with too many already in the season. So everyone, have a great Week 3. You guys are appreciated more than you know. Shout out to all of the Catch fam. I thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember,